through, there's nothing but room to run.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Going for the deep ball. They've got his man complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. 9:51. You must be getting tired.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career, and Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. 30, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
You can't block me.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
44, Mike, 44. I got one. Check 31, check 34. Switch, let it go.
He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they got out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
That good for 22 and a 1st down. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. He finds some open field here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Chargers 7, Jaguars nothing.
Ready. Pick it up. Double tight, guys, double tight. Three out. We're edge here. 52, heavy. 52's the mic. Watch the track.
They'll look to throw here. That's caught by the UCLA product. It's Callum Wilson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Mike Griffin, 52. Push him back. Push him back. No. Check that. We're on Mike 52.
2nd and 1. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. 2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Melvin Ingram. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Kill. Watch out.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And he's he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. He'll drop to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. 2nd and 15. So left side, it's complete. 23 yards to pick up there.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Okay, break. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. All you get on the head. Go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Shift, shift.
He'll look to throw. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
2nd and 5. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Man, I got Mike, 49. Hey, watch the slant. 49.
Back to throw again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a potential turning point as they get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
18 Gator. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Josh Allen. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Touchdown, LA! A big play there. 92 yards. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Back to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. First target, first catch, and a first down. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Gordon. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now Gordon. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. Here came Tucson. Let's go one more.
On play action, they'll throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
44, Mike. Check, check. Watch the out, watch the out.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. That right there, Charles, I think is a prime example of what they're scared of. They said, yeah, you can run. We know you can take off, but be smart. He got hit pretty hard there.
A lot of these young quarterbacks, they like to tell us that they become running backs when they take off. But they have to remember, at all times, they're quarterbacks. Protect yourself. Slide. Get out of bounds. Don't take that kind of hit.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Second and 6 at the 44-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Yeah. 44 to Mike. Let's go, D. Check, check. Lucky. Watch safety three.
2nd and 6.
Safety three.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They're going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on.
Fournette is in trouble, and he goes down to the end zone. 2 points, that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. 54. Okay, double up. Let's go.
That one good for 10 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
We play to win. Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Check 15, check 22, check cover. 22, check.
They'll set up a throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up third down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to third down and making a play there.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Second and 10. At the 39-yard line.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll drop the throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run the counter. Gordon. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Here's Gordon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
On the double. Mike 51. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Ready, go.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll come out in the pistol.
Bring it. Bring it.
The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. They come out here in the eye. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Mike's 49. Mike's 49. You're trapped. You're trapped. Switch. Check. 43. Check 52.
They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. And now here is another interception. Picked off at about the 31.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their home.